Welcome to Talking Hoosier Baseball for Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. The Indiana University baseball team defeated Purdue Fort Wayne today by a score of 12-2. This brings Indiana University's record to 6-6 on the year. Matthew Ellis hit 2 home runs for the Hoosiers on the game. Indiana University head coach Jeff Mercer and Matthew Ellis both spoke with the media after the game.
It's a really good group. Coach Mercer does a great job with the outfielders. He was a Gold Glove winner, and so he would come in and do a good job with those guys. But they play hard. They get good reads. They shift. They pay attention. They're in the right spots at the right time. And it's a really athletic group. It's a really talented and athletic group. And the outfield doesn't get noticed besides you necessarily until they do something wrong. And so you haven't noticed them a ton. But they've played really good baseball. They've taken away a lot of hits. Have thrown to the cut correctly and made good decisions and kept guys in double play position for the most part. And so it's a big deal to have it's a big luxury to have an outfield. It only makes the routine play, but goes and steals hits and throws really well too.
Coach, did you challenge the team to be even more aggressive today on the base paths?
No, we kind of did what we normally do. They did a really good job. That was the first team that we've played all year that managed, had good moves at first and managed the run game better than most. And their catcher threw really well. We got tagged a couple times. Got a pick off, guy leaning, and then got thrown out, which hasn't happened a whole lot. But we just have to follow the rules, right? You have to follow the rules and you can't get overzealous and try to do too much because that's when you get popped. And got a little bit heavy on our front side, got picked off and didn't get the jump we needed to another time. But we want to continue to be aggressive and push the tempo. They just managed it better than most teams have, and you're one of the teams like that. That's a really well coached team. Coach Roberts obviously been a successful coach for a long time. They were prepared for it and did a good job.
Kind of to go back off of that, it seemed to be a game where you guys were a little bit more active on the base pass. Was that kind of just a thing you wanted to try out, or is that just how you guys are playing
just how we'd like to play, just the style that we would like to play when given the opportunity, and it's got to be the right guys, right? So, for whatever reason, Matt Ellis, when he's been on first, they've picked over a ton. I don't think Matt's going to go anywhere, but when the right guys get on, we want to push the tempo. We want to make the pitcher's focus be split, and sometimes sometimes you run into an out, but oftentimes you're able to really change the game the way you're aggressive on the bases. So it wasn't anything different, just did what we normally want to do.
Coach, what are your thoughts about Matthew Ellis against Missouri State with the 2 home run game, and then comes back and he hits 2 again? So can you just talk about him and sort of how challenging but impressive that is to be able to hit all these home runs in such a short span?
Yeah, first of all, he's a really special person. He's really tough and a competitive kid and an incredibly hard worker. And then you put that with he's very, very talented, right? Very special talent. And you put that together, you have a chance to have a really special player, and that's what he is. Sometimes guys have great ability and they don't have the wherewithal, the intelligence to apply it. Sometimes guys are really smart and heady and don't have the physical tools. But every now and then you get a player that has both. And then he's got the ability to slow himself down and manage himself. And when he's locked in and he's right, there's nobody more dangerous that I've ever coached. And he's a good one. I'm glad he's on our side. I'm glad he's playing for us.
With all the home runs and another game with double-digit runs by your squad, is it kind of nice to see the runs coming in after the first series or the first round arc?
Yeah. You look at those first couple of series, and we had base runners. And that's kind of what someone talked about early on was we had base runners, we had opportunities. You just have to settle on and having a bat. And I think that's the big difference. We had base runners, we had opportunities. We just weren't able to go out and finish the job. And so we talked about that a ton. On the mound, finishing guys, and our bats finish the at-bat, finish the inning, and we're doing that now. Where you feel positive energy when there's guys on base. You feel like, hey, this guy can step up and get the job done here, and so that's a big deal because once you start to kind of break through, the defense, gets apprehensive, get on their heels, and the pitching staff is a little more apprehensive, and so it's been great for us to see us break through and score those runs in bunches like that.
You got David Platt into the game. What can you talk about his development and what he's been able to do and be able to actually get him into a game?
Yeah, that was probably the highlight of the night for me to see David back out there. David had an injury and missed a year, hasn't pitched since the COVID canceled year, and so to get him back out there was a big deal. Just for him, emotionally get back out there and break the ice and do it the first time, but for the program as well. David is an incredible person. A very religious kid, a hardworking kid. and someone that I it's very near and dear to my heart. So seeing him get back out there was a big deal, and he is very, very talented. We got to work him in gradually and make sure he's comfortable, but he is very, very talented, and I'm confident he's going to help the staff into the future of the season.
Coach, we haven't seen the lineup change too much this year, but for mostly good reason. Can you just talk about the chemistry that they're building, whether it's the top of the lineup guys getting on base or the middle lineup guys providing the pop?
Yeah, and as a player, it drove me nuts when the lineup shifted all the time. So I know in the past there are times I've done it out of necessity, but once you set a lineup, it's in an ideal world, you keep it. So everyone can kind of learn their role and know what they're supposed to do. You've got the three guys at the top that can really run. You got the three thumpers in the middle, and then the three guys at the bottom that can run again and try to turn it back over for the most part. So guys are settling in and knowing their role and doing their job. But I would like to continue to press the tempo, just to push the tempo and pressure those guys. And you've got the big guys in the middle that can really drive in runs. And that was the intent going into it, and they've really fulfilled that as well or better than I could have anticipated here the last couple of weeks.
Coach, you got a 10-run win in this one, but Purdue Fort Wayne had, I think, 14 runners in scoring position and only goes 1 for 14. So is it also just kind of a testament to your pitchers that even if they allow runners on, that they're able to get out of those situations?
Yeah, my ulcer knows that stat for you pretty well too. They had opportunities there, and we executed pitches and took care of the ball. Made a couple of nice plays in the infield, and finished those innings in a timely fashion. But yeah, those guys did a really good job. Getting those guys in the game today was a big deal because when you look at it, you try to add one hitter a week to the lineup, or on the mound you're trying to add one guy a week. And so, after 5 or 6 weeks, you're hoping you have 5 or 6 more guys you can use. And that was the case today. It was great to see Joe Moran out there at the end, 90-92, back to the guy that we expect him to be and competitive. There were bright spots throughout. Jack Walker with the start and a myriad of different guys that did a really good job. So it was exciting, and at the same time, what we come to expect from those guys as they grow.
Coach, win streak continues. Now you're going four in a row. What are you telling your ball club to stay focused and as the Troy series and the Xavier series comes up?
Yeah, I told them there's 2 kinds of people in the world. There's humble and there's about to be humble. So be humble and just do what you've been doing. Stay the course, and everything else take care of itself. I'll take yours if you got one. Take it.
Josh Pine has hit homers in back-to-back games. What is his impact on the team now?
Josh's impact has been tremendous. First and foremost, his defense has been incredible. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen a freshman, especially at a very difficult position, impact the game the way that he has. That play he made, I don't know what it was, the chopper where he comes in, throws the guy out first. It was an impossible play, and he makes them look easy. Those are a lot of times that ball ends up off somebody's foot and up the right field line. And so defensively, he's impacted the game tremendously, and now offensively, he's catching his footing. He's a very, very gifted player and somebody that has a very bright future ahead of him, both this year and into the future as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of sticking to the plan we've used the entire year. Obviously, now I'm getting some good results that are pretty good for the team and myself. But at the same time, it's just sticking to what we worked on all fall, all winter, and then getting to now. It's just doing the same drills, doing the same things with Mercer and Weatherford, and keeping the same routine going every day. And just happening, we're getting the good results that we want to have. So, if you look across the board, I think the team as a whole is putting together the results that we're looking for. It's really starting to come together, and like I said, it's just accumulation of everybody doing the drill work like they should, and really sticking to the process that we have.
You're that big bat in the lineup. What were your approaches today and kind of moving forward?
Yeah, the first few at bats, the first 3 at bats, it kind of went by quick. I kind of got back to the dugout after each one and needed to make a small adjustment, and then finally the 4th at bat, I got together with Weatherford and we just kind of laid an idea out for what I was going to do and kind of attack the plan of just trying to hit it hard, just trying to catch a barrel and then see what would happen from there, and then take that to the next at bat and just keep that focus that you have to have, each and every at bat. So it's kind of what we're doing, is trying to stay focused for each pitch is really important.
What's been clicking for you guys offensively? It seems like you guys have, after the Clemson series, after Round Rock, now in Missouri, you put up a decent amount of runs. What's been clicking for
I think
you guys?
honestly, it's just everybody, really bought into what we have working here. We have a strict, process-oriented daily routine that we do, and it's just something that everybody's bought into and sees the results and how they work. It helps when you got older guys and they start to get the results, and you get like the Brock Tibbetts, the Josh Pond start producing like they should, or they can, and they will. It just helps a lot of people. So I think it's just staying in the process, doing all we do all the time, and just kind of staying on that routine. And that's kind of what's led to this burst of runs.
How does a day like today affect your team's confidence moving forward?
I think it just helps. I mean, it helps, knowing that we can score 10 runs. I think tonight we had 12. We've had multiple games like that where we've had, 10 or more runs. It's attacking early. We've attacked the first or second innings really early and often, and I think that's been a huge key to our success as well.
Kind of just piggyback off that, you guys have won 5 of your last 6. What's the attitude in the clubhouse heading into this weekend's set?
It's just one game at a time, keeping on track for what we want to do. We weren't going to win the World Series the first weekend at Clemson. We're not going to win it tonight. It's just, sticking to what we have in mind for our goals, sticking to our core values. And I think that's super important. So the clubhouse it's fun, it's energetic right now, and I plan on only getting better from here on out.
I know you weren't behind the plate today, but you have been for quite a few games lately as the pitchers have been hitting the strike zone a lot more. What are you seeing from the pitching staff?
Yeah, it's just trusting what Grant teaches them. I think he's the best pitching coach in the country by far. Just trusting what he's teaching them. They worked harder than anybody all fall, all winter. And, if you were on, the journey with us from the start, you could see the pitchers, how dominant they are and how good they are. And we know what to expect from them. We've expected, more strikes and strikeouts, and we're really attacking the zone like they have been lately, and that's what we're going to expect the rest of the way out because they are so dominant.
Matthew, in these last 4 games, you got to answer the call at home plate 4 times. Is that just the mentality of this team now, just answering the call?
Yeah, 100%, especially for our offense. We the first couple of games we really left some good opportunities out there. No one really picked up, answered the call, if you will, I guess. And so lately, we just kind of made it an initiative on our team. When you're up to bat, you're there to do some damage, and you're going to pick up for everybody else. So that's been really important for us.
You talk about the origins of the celebration.
Yeah, it started with Bobby. Bobby come up with a pick up to answer the phone, answer the call idea, and we kind of just ran from there. We had it. The first day was at Miami of Ohio when we played here, and we took it from there. We really ran with it. We come out and have some good success. I think we score 12, 14 runs or whatever it was. And it was easy after that, kind of seeing, that this is what we're going to do. We're going to ride with it, and it's turned out good.
I know it's only been 3 games, but you guys haven't lost here yet. What's it feel like to, just come here and play, 3 games with 3 very good games?
Right. It's good to get back home. I feel like we've been on the road the entire year. I think everybody's just comfortable being back here. It's been like forever since we played here. We've had good crowds every night, especially the first night. We had over 2,000 fans here, which was awesome. Just getting back here, getting our routine, being able to sleep in our own bed, stuff like that is just really key, and I think we're enjoying it, and we're looking forward to the home stretch we got coming up.
Take one more. Just to clarify, when you guys were doing the celebration, that started at the Miami game?
It did, yeah. That was the first time we ever talked about it. We kind of walked it through in the locker room. We kind of did a couple trial runs. No one really expected to come out and do it as early as we did. I think Brock Tibbetts did the first one. And then, off our Kip, and then next thing you know, we got 5 or 6 people doing it, and then we're just rolling from there. So I think some will keep up. Hopefully, as we move on and as Indiana moves on in the future, it's something that keeps up, and I think it's going to be an important part of what we build here.
Thank you for listening to Talking Hoosier Baseball. The Indiana University baseball team will be traveling to play Troy in Alabama over the weekend, and then we'll return to Bart Kaufman Field on Tuesday at 5 p.m. to take on Kentucky. We will see you at the Bart.